Good morning, everybody. JohnnyJans here. It is an exciting day because I am coming to you from the space capital of Florida. I am at the Kennedy Space Center today. I think I'm ready to go inside and do some meandering around. Standing in front of not the Universal Globe, but it's the NASA Globe right here in the beginning of the Welcome Center. Very exciting, setting the tone for this epic day. If you've never been to this place, it is pretty amazing, especially if you like space. Authentic things mixed with recreations. This is where all the magic happens. They got big screens. Makes it very exciting. That is a really cool projection screen, setting the tone. Now it opens at 9 o'clock, and it's good to get here early to get all your fun pics in, get in line. This place sometimes gets very crowded. I don't know how today is going to be. Look, I can see the moon just above the building there. It's kind of fitting. And then a quick stop at the information building. I got one of these pamphlets, and this is a QR code that you can scan for the VR experience. Never did that, but I was told it was quite a fun time. So we got our daily schedule of all the events and gonna check out the VR experience too. Alrighty, Houston, I have arrived. Went through the front gates and I'm greeted by the Garden of Rockets, the Rocket Garden. Most of these rockets are real, except we think that shark one over in the middle is actually a replica. But these rockets in the Rocket Garden are all real and have been to space. Oh, look at this, it's the lunar capsule. That's pretty cool. Look how small it is. You can see little Jans to scale. Probably barely fit in there. There's Junior Jans going in now. Taking one small step for Jans. One giant leap for meandering around right there. How does it feel in there, cramped? Hot. I think there's gonna be a lot of that today. So the first thing on the agenda here is the Gateway building. What's in the Gateway building?
There are some simulators in here.
There are simulators to simulate space stuff. Look at the building. It's nice color. Got a little logo here. I love it. It's huge too. Everything here is like larger than life because it's very astronomical. The doors open by themselves. That's how futuristic it is in this place. It's dark. Welcome. This is exciting. Welcome in all the different languages. They've got some really cool screens around here. I don't know what we're going to see in the Gateway building. I'm pretty excited though. We're always exploring. That's what we're going to do. So one thing I just love about the Kennedy Space Center is the scale. Everything is ginormous because everything has to be to go to space, I guess. First one's here at the simulator. Is this really popular, or are we just the first ones here? Spaceport KSC. So the simulator actually doesn't open till 9:30. So instead, I'm gonna change course, come back to that later. Maybe the line won't be too long. I'm gonna go over and see Atlantis, where they have an actual space shuttle. Not even Kennedy Space Center is gonna escape the Starbucks. So if you need your coffee fix, they have one. There's another cool NASA globe. A lot of fun picture spots around here. Also, the sun is ablazing today in Florida. It is hot. If you're walking around here, you definitely want to bring the sunscreen. Bring water, stay hydrated, because there's a lot of outside stuff to see. And walking in between the buildings right now. Look at this, a spinning capsule. That is pretty cool, and it's huge. Very nice. Again, that could be a real one. Sometimes it's just really hard to tell here what's real and what's not. You got a rover over there, that's awesome. All right, as we come up to these giant boosters now, these are the tanks that put the space shuttle into space. This is actually a replica, it's always here, not real boosters. And you can see the giant sign, Space Shuttle Atlantis. And there goes little Jans to give it some scale, also get a fun picture. Junior Jans too, it's quite the sign. as we walk underneath it. That is cool. And then the actual Space Shuttle Atlantis is inside. So the first part of this experience, you gather in this room. They're going to do an entire video presentation of Space Shuttle Atlantis. It gives you all the feels, and just when you're at the height of drama, the wall actually is going to come apart, and before your eyes you're going to see the space shuttle in all its glory. So it is pretty moving. It's one of my favorite experiences here at Kennedy Space Center. So after the first highly dramatized video, we enter the next room where we're going to watch an even more intense video that gets us amped up for the wondrous journey that is the space shuttle. It took 12 years of development. And what's cool here is we're going to sit on the floor, and I like that. And already it's getting pretty exciting. We entered this room of screens. So cool. Is awesome. Look. How cool is that? Again, what an incredible presentation. The pageantry for a space shuttle. How cool is that? The buildup is real. And then that reveal when you get to see the actual space shuttle is just so moving. I love it so much. Again, one of my favorite things about coming to Kennedy Space Center, you have to check out the Atlantis Space Shuttle. Just the power of human engineering at its finest. Again, some of the smartest people in the world worked here at NASA, and that gets me every time. It's incredible. What a cool feeling this is to get to see the real space shuttle, Atlantis. They also have other displays for Atlantis. You can actually walk inside a replica of the cockpit here. This is so cool. Very exciting that they got to get one of the shuttles. And here's a look at what it was like to sit and be inside. The seat is so small, but look at the controls. Incredible. So many buttons and things, and now it's funny to think that our own cell phones are actually more powerful than some of this technology that they used only back in the 90s. Crazy. Talk about the need for speed. You're falling at 17,500 miles per hour. Tom Cruise would be proud. Exciting, something I gotta get here early for. I'm gonna go inside the space station. Is this an actual scale space station?
No.
No. Cool if it was.
It's the size of like 3 football fields.
Oh my gosh.
This one's just a little.
So it's not as cramped.
No.
Nope, I was wrong. It is definitely cramped in here. Very little room to move. But look at all the control layouts across the tunnel as I meander my way through the space station. There are holes over here, but one of the best things is this glass-covered tunnel where you actually go over the exhibits and get a good view of Space Shuttle Atlantis there. So now I know what it feels like to crawl through the space station. It was fun. If you get here early enough and there's no line, you can crawl through an actual model of the space station. And let me tell you, it is quite a workout. Just make sure you take your shoes off. Moving down to the lower level right now, you can get actually underneath Atlantis so you can see what it looks like from all the angles, and it's just incredible. I wonder if they just put Atlantis here and then built the building around it. All right, I'm gonna do one more child activity here while my back is still in place. I'm gonna go down a slide. Is this how they get out of the space shuttle? They go down a fun slide? Because I hope so. This is gonna be quite the experience. Oh, it's like a straight down drop. Oh my goodness, whoa, that is fast. Touchdown! Woo, wheel stop. That was quite the experience there. Lots of activities here underneath Atlantis. And over here we have the wall of facts. All the space shuttles. There were actually only 6 space shuttles from Enterprise to the Endeavour, and Enterprise was actually more of a test flight. Never flew in space. They just wanted to see if it could fit on back of an airplane. They put a glider on the back of the airplane so they can carry it between Houston and Florida. There also is a special wing here that pays tribute to the fallen space shuttles that we've lost, the Challenger and the Columbia. And here you can see the remnants of them as well. And lastly, they have the Space Shuttle Launch Experience, which is a simulator that gives you exactly what it feels like to be launched in a space shuttle. It can seem a little scary as you get in and it leans you back. A lot of shaking though. So when you hear the words "go for launch," you might want to hang on. Quote, mission space. All right, that's going to do it for Space Shuttle Atlantis. Very cool. And of course, like all things in Florida do, they end in the gift shop so you can buy your merchandise, because, you know, why not? Entering back into the Gateway building, it is a lot more crowded. Looks like the people have found their way compared to when I was here before. But we're gonna go check out the next simulator just upstairs. I think it's called Departures or something. And it should be open now. But there are definitely a lot more people floating around this building as compared to over by Atlantis, which I don't understand because I think Atlantis is great. I would definitely go there first. Oh my goodness, look at the line. Wow. Well, maybe this is why you come here first, folks. Skip Atlantis and come to the simulator. This must be either one impressive simulator or one very slow loading one. I don't know. Remains to be seen, but I'm just going to try to meander myself to the back of the line, get good and comfy, because it's going to be a while. So you're going to pick 2 shows here as we get ready for the VR. There's the Red Planet, and what's this one we're in line for called? Uncharted World and Red Planet. You get to pick your simulation experience. Me, I'm going for the one with the shorter line, so it appears to be this one. We'll see how it goes. Hey, see outside the building. Oh no, it's just not our building, because there's definitely flying things. Future. Uncharted worlds is where we're going. And we have the red planet over there. Fun. All right, departure simulator experience complete. That was a okay simulator. Went off to another galaxy over 40 some light years away to find an Earth, to find a planet that was similar to Earth. Kind of an educational experience, not too intense ride. Kind of feels like Soarin' or something, but definitely different. And I hear the other experience is better, so maybe you want to try the Red Planet one. But that was definitely more aligned. They're very similar. You just go to different areas. It's a better story, they say. So, fair enough. But now I'm crossing the courtyard again to go to my VR experience. I got my QR code this morning, so we're gonna go check in and do some awesome VR and explore more stuff. Check this out. We're going to the Hyperdeck VR experience. I'm sorry. And you have to book that QR code just to do this experience here. It already looks very virtual reality. It also smells like popcorn. It smells like a movie theater. Do they have popcorn in here? Oh, it's at the IMAX, because there's an IMAX theater. So it's going to be fun. See what it's like. All right, the Mission Moon VR Simulator. That was a pretty cool experience. Definitely a must-do. Again, when you get here, you should definitely book that VR experience. The VR was really good. It makes you feel a little weird at first, but once you get used to it, it's actually really fun. And when you get to have multiple players, you can see your team standing there on the launch pad, and you're basically blasting moon rocks, and you're going on a fun moon mission. And there are parts that definitely feel like real, because they have wind effects. The floor vibrates, that you totally forget that you're just in a room and you're just having fun shooting stuff. So highly recommend that VR experience. But again, wait times are going to go up, so you got to hurry up and book that as soon as you get here to the Space Center and get that in. And check this out, the time has come to hop on a bus over to the Vehicle Assembly Building, where they actually build the rockets, and then it houses my favorite, the Saturn V Rocket, which is truly epic to see. But you have to go take a bus. It is included with your admission, and it's going to take you down to that large vehicle assembly building. There's a lot of other cool things to see there too. As you're coming in on the bus, you get a beautiful view of the vehicle assembly building, where they actually make the rockets. And this building is so big that if you disassembled the Empire State Building and then put it inside this building, it would fit a couple times too. That's how big the volume is. Just got off the bus and made it to one of my favorite stops here, the Apollo Discovery Center. Everything about the Apollo program and everything we need to know about the people that have walked on the moon, including that man, Neil Armstrong.
This is the firing room, launch control for the Apollo mission. This is not a mock-up. These are the very consoles we sat at when men first took off to fly to the moon.
Just behind these doors is the most powerful rocket ever built on God's green earth. Ladies and gentlemen, the Saturn V Rocket in all its glory. Oh my goodness. Look at the engines. It's so cool. I love it. The camera doesn't even capture the scale. This is it. This is how you get to the moon. As of right now, this day, this still, the only way to do it is ride one of these bad boys. It was amazing. The history, the power. Oh my gosh. Look at it. It is so cool. Yes, the Saturn V Rocket. Over 363 feet tall. About 6.5 million pounds at liftoff. And a top speed of over 25,000 miles per hour. Incredible. Replica of the landing on the moon, and that's what they did. They took that spidery looking guy and landed on the moon. Here you can look inside the lunar module, and it was crazy because this pretty much supported 3 astronauts and the crew of Apollo 13 when they lost all power in the command module. They had to essentially live in part of the lunar module here, and look how small it is. It's really insane. Crazy. Yeah, the lunar module is only really designed for 2 people, but they had to fit 3 in there for Apollo 13 while they tried to survive long enough until they were able to come back home and then power up the command module. I mean, it's insane. If you've never seen Apollo 13, it is a great movie. It is a great story. After a fun day exploring space stuff, you gotta make a stop at the Space Shop NASA. It's the world's largest space gift shop, so they say. This arm was actually walked on by the crew of the Apollo 11 astronauts, for real. Now it sits in a gift shop. Apollo 11 once walked this bridge, and now so do I. JohnnyJans. Pretty epic day. Well, there it is, folks. I had a fun day here at the Kennedy Space Center today. I saw so much cool stuff. Loved seeing the Space Shuttle Atlantis. Probably my favorite thing. Second favorite thing, Saturn V Rocket. Passing by the vehicle assembly building was awesome. And seeing all this cool space things. There really is a lot to do. And got to chat with an astronaut, which was amazing, by the way. So, a lot of fun experiences today. Had an intergalactic, interstellar good time, but that's going to do it for me. Until next time, I'm JohnnyJans, and as always, I'll catch you out there. Meandering around! Capsule, or it looks like over here you can actually touch a moon rock display. How do you do this? Oh, you stick your little hand, zit, one small finger point for JohnnyJans, one giant leap for meandering around. There it is, I'm touching a moon rock. Yay! That's the closest I'm ever going to get to the surface of the moon. Let's face it.